Hi and welcome. I'm Jennifer Kent, Vice President of Research with Parks Associates, and I'm so pleased to be joined here today by Razvan Toder, who's the Director of Connected Home Security with Bitdefender. Hi, Razvan. How are you?
Hi, nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for your time. So, Razvan, from your perspective, what industry and consumer trends have really shaped the last several years in the smart home space?
I think that's we could be here for hours if we started on this subject. Really, I think it's interesting to see how it evolved because it all started from some devices that control your temperature in your house, and maybe some devices that control your lights. And here we are today with devices that do facial recognition, that learn your behavior. Uh, we talk about the sentient home that knows how you feel and is able to take some measures before you actually need them. So I think the smart home subject has evolved tremendously, and it's been pushed by the technology that allowed the devices to be, um, let's say, smarter and smarter, and to make our lives easier and easier.
How do you think the companies are really delivering on that promise of the smarter home, the more intelligent home, being able to understand context? Do you feel like that's coming all the way through uh, to the users, from your perspective?
Um, Yeah. So from one side, I think it's they're doing a great job. They're leveraging the technology, and they're able to make the devices smarter, and then to make them able to fit in your life as easily and as fast as possible, which is why we see such a fast adoption of devices these days, because people buy more and more devices, and our homes become smarter and smarter. And it's not necessarily, even we're not even talking about smart homes. It's even more than that. It's a smart environment, because we take our wearables with us. We have smart cars, so we actually have like this digital environment that follows us everywhere. On the other hand, where I see maybe a challenge, I don't want to call it a problem, but it's definitely a challenge, is that in order for these devices to be really smart, they need to know a lot about us. So they are crunching a lot of our personal information. And this is where we see the main challenge with smart home and smart devices, is the fact that they will pose, and they are already posing, privacy and identity protection issues. And this is where I would like to see companies taking a more, I don't know, drastic measures.
Is there anything about the role of technology and how it's evolving that can better meet that challenge for companies in the space?
Well, definitely. I mean, if you look at how connection to these devices has evolved from, let's say, a few years ago, they were mostly you could connect if you were within range, and now most of the smart devices, they have a cloud service, they have better authentication, and so this is a good step towards let's say a better privacy, better security of these devices. And also with technology, is we're able to scale down on the number of private information, or of number of things we crunch about our users lives, and still deliver the same functionality. So this is another way to address the privacy issues.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really good point. Of course, then that has to be communicated back to the end user of what advancements are happening in this space. We know from Parks Associates data that one of the major barriers to buying smart home devices is a concern about privacy and security. And so, do you have any thoughts about how to communicate that back to the end user and assure consumers that the smart devices they're using in their home are secure and they can trust them?
Well, yeah, we agree with your point of view. So the main concern of consumers is actually privacy these days, and we see that usually there are certain brands that have established themselves as taking privacy and identity as a serious matter. But we also see a great opportunity for ISPs and telcos, so the connectivity providers, to secure the connection and actually secure the digital environment of the user, secure all the devices. So we see that there's a two-way approach. One is with device manufacturers being more and more responsible these days, and the other is the actual connectivity provider making sure that the connection is sanitized, that those devices only access clean URLs, that the traffic does not contain attacks, and so on.
Mhm. So what does the next phase in the smart home space look like to you?
Well, I think it's only going to accelerate. I think it's a bit ironic because we see that the end users are more and more concerned about these things that we talked about, privacy, identity protection, and so on. But at the same time, they expect smarter and smarter devices, and they want more and more devices. So I can only see that our homes will become smarter and smarter because technology is accelerating, and this can only help this subject.
Well, Razvan, thank you very much for your thoughts and your insights today. We look forward to talking about these and many other trends impacting the smart home market throughout our Connections US series and sessions. Thank so much.
Thank you too. Have a good day.
You too. Take care.